So how hard is it to make your own stencils? We're going to find out. You ready to run and guns? Time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. Stencils. Ever since I did these spray session videos, I've had several requests from people on how to make your own stencils. I'm not only going to show you how to cut these things, I'm actually going to show you how to form these things and how simple of a setup it really is. It doesn't take much investment really whatsoever. It's a very simple thing to make. As long as you got a shop vac, a heat gun, and some kind of a metal tin, you're good to go. So let's go to my snazzy shop, which I call the kitchen, and let me show you how easy this really is to make this stuff. Okay guys, I'm going to show you how easy this is to make your own stencil kit. It doesn't take much at all. I found this cookie tin at work one day. Somebody brought some cookies in. I dumped the cookies out after they went stale, kept this, because when I saw this I was thinking stencils. Took the lid off and drilled a series of 1/8" holes all the way around the drill press. Then I took a hole cutter, which something like this right here that you get at Lowe's, the hardware store. Get one for the size of your shop vac and drill that hole in there very carefully. And then I lined it with duct tape just to kind of smooth it out. Then you take your shop vac and you tape this up with duct tape until you get the size hole you need for that. And it fits in just like that. This is only taped off just to keep the lid on. And just to keep everything from moving, I'll just take the shop vac down, that way this can't move. And I'm doing this in the kitchen, guys. This is our kitchen table here, and this is not a very hard process to make. Probably the most expensive thing that you'll probably get will be the thermal plastic that you can get from Amazon. I'll put a picture of what it looks like on Amazon right here. But this comes in full sheets, and I just basically cut them down to fit my frame, but always save these pieces right here because you can still use those for stenciling, especially with jerk baits. But this thermal plastic, it's pretty thick. It's got a plastic film on this side and plastic film on this side that you do need to pull off so that it's clear. And this is just an aluminum frame that I made that I can just duct tape the corners, and then all I have to do is turn this over, set it on there, and it sucks it right down. What I do have here is a heat gun. That's another investment you're going to need, is a heat gun, or maybe a hair dryer on high. A hair dryer takes longer to heat up, but it can work if that's all you've got. But you can use like a crochet, or not crochet, but like a needlepoint ring, sewing ring, or make your own frame out of wood. You can use a wood picture frame if you wanted to. Just make sure it's going to be the size you need for this right here. What I've got is a couple of blanks. I love these little crankbaits. These come from W Lure on eBay. These are some bad little dudes right here, but I want to make a couple of stencils for these. I want to do a fire tiger stencil and a bluegill stencil. So I'm going to set one that faces that way and one that faces this way, so I get a left and a right. Now, the trick to this is most guys will cut these baits in half and just lay the half on there. You can do that. I prefer not to tear up my baits. So it's okay to lay them like this. And you always want to test, make sure they're not going to roll around on you. And you got to put this on. The trick is, you don't want to overheat this plastic, because if you do, it's going to wrap around these baits and you're going to have a hard time getting them out of that plastic. Not only that, it's going to be hard to kind of cut around to get you a good stencil around that. Basically, all I'm going to do here, so I'll cut the top back on, put this on high, There's our stencils. It did wrap around those a little bit, but that's not bad. That's kind of perfect. What you do, you're going to take this off. And there is your stencil of your baits. It did wrap around just a little bit, but not too bad. That will work. I mean, it even did the little fins and the scales, everything. That's being a little bit stubborn. I did have to get a pair of needle nose pliers, and this dude that was stuck, all I had to do was gently grab it on the side of the bill, and it popped right out of the package. That was definitely a lot easier than the first one. But there is your stencils. So now, I'll make another set of these, and then I want to show y'all how I lay these things out and how I cut them down into the patterns I need. Okay, so I got everything laid out. I drew my patterns on the baits on one side, then went up to a window, flipped it over and drew it with a reflection through the window. You can clean a Sharpie off with some alcohol, but it's still going to leave a witness line of where you marked it, but that's okay. Give this thing a white base coat and paint it in chartreuse color. Or whatever you're going to use for a white base coat, like a bluegill. It'll cover all that, and by taking the Sharpie off of the alcohol, it's going to be less chance of that bleeding through your white. But just a standard Sharpie. And what I did, so I went ahead and did up my fire tigers on one side and the other side. These bodies are not trimmed down yet. These are just to trace them on. Then I'll trim it off to where you can put it on and off the body and not scratch the paint. So I got my bluegill here, and I've already got my cutout. Always, by the way, I made several sets of these baits, because when you go to cut these things on a Dremel tool, you might boo-boo. So if you do, you got another one to back up. So I always run you a few more sets than you need. I'm going to take this. Alright, there's one. See what I mean about trimming them? Yeah, there we go. And do the other side. Okay, there's your patterns. We got a left and a right, and that was pretty symmetrical. Let's go ahead. Get this ready for white paint down the road. Like I said, it's not going to come all the way off, but I got enough Sharpie off of here to where if I go to hit a white base coat, that black's not going to bleed through the white, because it'll do it on several coats. I've got a set here of cutters I got off of eBay a while back. It's got all these different needle sizes. I did break one of them, but I've got a little bit wider cutter here to do the bluegill with, and I've got a finer one to do the fire tagger with. Not too bad. I'll take some sandpaper. I also have this here too in case I need to get in here and clean some of this out, which I might have to. Yep, I'm gonna have to. Alright, now it's just a matter of cleaning out any little burrs. And I just use the tip I just cut with. Just kind of get in there, rub it around a little bit. It'll take them out. Alright, we've got the sanding down, got everything cleaned out. Let's see if I can show you what that pattern looks like. Now what I want to do is trim this. So I'm not fighting the stencil. And also what I'm going to do is take some sandpaper and go along where I'll just cut that. Just to make sure there's no burrs from the scissors. That gives you a stencil for a bluegill. I said I got one for a fire tiger. These are a little more involved just because of the cleaning process. But that's going to make a nice looking bluegill that I'll do a video on down the road. So Just change tips. And we'll do the fire tiger. I want to do that with real thin, because I don't want those stripes as big as the bluegill. And just like that, we have the fire tiger, which almost came out clean. That's a rarity. Let's put that grinder back on here. See, I need to clean up here. Again, I'll use that same tip. Just knock the burrs. I think that's got it. Yep, that's got it. All right, let's trim this down too. Burr right here. Sand it again. And there is your fire tiger. That's probably one of the cleanest ones I've ever done. See what it looks like here. And there you go. There's a fire tiger. All I have to do is catch these two up right here, and you've got your stencils. So this is how I make them. Very simple to do. So good luck making these, and I hope it works out for you. So until next time, may the Father bless you and keep you in Yeshua's name. As always, fish on.